inquiring minds want to know, as I've said before. But first of all, can y'all explain how you kind of met and what drew you to each other? I'm really curious.
We met through my god sister, Natalie.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
Yeah.
Yep. Because
So-
me and Natalie, we went to college together.
Oh,
And her hometown is Warner Robins, where we are.
yeah.
And when I came back, me and her would hang out. When I moved back to my hometown, we would hang out. And then she was like, "Oh, my good friend Josh, he's my neighbor. He should join us." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So we like all would hang out like as a 3 squad, you know?
Yeah.
And then I got a text from Josh, but at the time I didn't know it was Josh because I didn't save his number.
Yo, this is foul. Just listen to this.
Oh, this is funny. Okay.
No, it's foul. It's not funny. It's another F word. That makes me want to say another F word that I can't say.
Please, I want to hear. I need to hear this.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
didn't save his number, but like I knew it was him from the group chat because when it's a group chat,
Oh, yeah.
you know who it is. So, but he texted me alone and he was like, "Hey, FaceTime me," and I was like, "Who is this?" And then he was like,
That was bold.
"Yeah."
That was bold.
There's more context to that.
Is
There's
it?
more
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
From my perspective, it was just like it was just like FaceTime me. I'm
because
like, "Excuse me?"
because we would all in the group we would always FaceTime and be like, okay, what are we doing?
Okay.
So like it was a common thing, and so if she would have known it was me, that wouldn't have been like a awkward,
That would have been
yeah.
okay.
It was just kind of standard procedure,
Right, but
Other
because
than
her
the-
number wasn't saved,
exactly,
it seemed that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, she was tripping.
Did you feel some type of way when
Yes, he
when she
did.
found out your
I
number
was just
wasn't
kind of
saved?
like,
Yes,
why
you
is it
did.
my number saved? I was so confused.
So obviously her number was saved.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but I feel like that's a guy would do that, or they just remember the number, so they always knew who they were talking to.
I can see that.
Or that we just wouldn't even respond.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
or text. No.
Yeah.
Well, I felt like it had to be someone like I knew personal enough to be like FaceTime me. So it was like,
Okay. Did you
who is
FaceTime
this?
him? What happened after that?
Yeah, we FaceTimed, and then
Is that when you were like, oh, it's Josh?
well, we had like some text before that.
Okay.
But I was like, okay,
Okay.
this is Josh.
Okay.
But so we FaceTimed, and then he asked me to come over to his studio and collab because he saw I did videos, and he does videos and music and things like that. So I was like, oh yeah, sure. Cool. Business. That's what I was thinking. Like business. We're gonna collab,
Yeah,
make
that's
some
what
good content.
Well, in fairness, that's what I was thinking too. So
Really?
yeah,
So for both of you, it was just business at first.
yes,
So both of you were like, we're going to come together and create some content or art or whatever you want to do.
correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
because my intent was I wasn't going to date anyone for a while, and I just wanted it to be me and God in our relationship kind of
Ooh.
thing. And then I came over to Josh's, and we had a good conversation about content, but then we also had amazing conversations about everything else. And then after that, I was like, there's something interesting about him.
All right, and then tell them what you did. Then tell them what you did.
Dun, dun, dun.
I just asked him to go to the skating rink.
She couldn't.
Oh, you
she
asked him on a
couldn't-
date.
She couldn't
No, it
get me
wasn't a
out of her
date.
mind. It was like the next day. She couldn't wait.
Oh,
2 days. She
wait,
was
wait,
like
wait,
the very
wait,
next
wait.
day. 18 hours later. She didn't
Wait,
hit the
wait.
24-hour mark. She was
She
like,
said, I have to see you
and
again.
then listen to this. And then she tried to pull like the slick thing, like, "Hey, I'm going skating. You're more than welcome to join if you'd want."
I was being friendly.
Yeah, you're being friend.
Were you already going skating and you were just inviting
yeah,
him
I already
along?
planned on going skating.
Okay.
And then the night before,
by herself?
yeah, I was
You're-
going to go by
you're gonna go by
myself.
yourself?
Yeah.
But she
Oh.
wanted company.
But the night before, we were talking about how we like to skate. So I was like, oh, I'll just ask Josh to come since we hang out anyways.
Okay.
I'll invite him to come out. That's what it was.
Well, you wouldn't invite someone to come out that you don't, particularly enjoy being around. So at that point, you were like,
the
oh, I can
timing-
be around him, right?
The timing was impeccable, wasn't it, Miracle?
I mean, yes, there's interest there, but I was also like, I'm just gonna be cool. Keep it
Okay.
cool. You know?
Okay.
That's what she was trying to play it. But,
Yeah.
But her biological brain was like,
Who would y'all say like had the interest first, or was it around the same time?
I mean, I think after the first night, it was kind of like, oh yeah.
I think it was I think it was mutual.
Like a
because-
mutual growing interest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so because when I left that night, he like had this look in his eye, like, who was she?
Did I?
I like
I
that.
don't remember
I
that.
saw it.
But I mean, I was
You
just
can't
trying
hide
to.
your facial expressions.
I
Give
was
me your
trying to-
emotions.
I was trying to keep it business, and then she was inviting people out to roller skate. Like, what do you want me to do? And then after that, pretty much we just hung out every single day for a long time.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
so wait, so I know you said before that you weren't planning on dating for a while. So like after you met Josh, did you change your mind? Like how was that little transition? You talked to God about it?
Yes, of course. Talked to God about it. And I had peace. It was like just try it out, see what
Wow.
happens. And then over time, it was like, yeah, he's your person.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the angel Gabriel showed up in her dream.
Hey, I
Said
believe
he's
it.
the
I wouldn't say
one.
that. I wouldn't say that, but
He
that's
said,
cute,
"Go
though.
take Josh to beat." No, I'm just.
I have a question about the proposal too, but should I ask that after you play the video,
Wait,
or can
hold
I
on.
ask it now? Okay.
I have a question for you, Josh.
Gee.
Okay,
Wait,
so
this
what-
is not the time for this.
Yes, it is.
Okay, go ahead.
Inquiring minds want to know.
What's your side, perspective? Like we have mine. What's yours?
On like how we met.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
Oh
everything
yes.
I was
like
just
that.
thinking.
Yes,
I
your
was thinking
thoughts.
this was really good conversation. She's very pretty. She's really cool. Like this could turn into something.
Men.
But
I need more description.
at the same time, I was also like, yeah, I'm just trying to, build a platform and I want to collab with people. Mm-hmm. And I saw that you did the 25 Days of Christmas, and I was like, oh, that'd be interesting to, bring her in and, work with, somebody. I hadn't really worked with females in that capacity as well. So I was like, oh, that'd be cool to work with somebody who's like-minded, making
Yeah.
content of a similar vein that I'm trying to make, and we can see, what happens. But we saw what happened, a relationship, and now an engagement. So,
Oh.
yeah. But yeah, I mean,
can't.
but I will say, after Rick Beats, I was like, oh no, yeah, this is cool.
Wow.
This is really cool. I
Did
was
you
liking
like
to see it.
ask her to be your girlfriend in like a way that you
Yeah.
did it? Really?
Yeah, well, it was at our house on Valentine's. Oh, no, it was 2 days after Valentine's Day. So
Before-
this is crazy,
before.
right? So we
Yeah,
met
after.
like the week before Valentine's Day. So we hung out all that week, and then Valentine's Day was like the next Tuesday, and so nobody had given her flowers. So I gave her flowers on Valentine's Day. So I was the first guy that ever gave you flowers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Shout out to myself.
Shout out to you.
And then, I mean, yeah, pretty much after that, I was just like, this is kind of it. Because it wasn't like we were just hanging out and like dating just to date. You
No.
know, it was like,
Very intentional.
yeah, very, very
Yeah.
deep conversations, very in-depth conversations about what our goals were,
Nice.
what we wanted out of
About
a
your faith
relationship.
status, I'm
about
assuming, too.
faith,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
about everything, even like how we would raise kids.
Nice.
This,
Nice.
that, how we wanted to structure our lives, and different plans and different markers of what our vision was at different stages. And so we could easily see like, oh,
Wow.
like,
It was
this
in
is how
alignment.
this aligns. And so so then it was just a very natural progression into, oh yeah, like this is somebody I could tolerate. I'm just playing. I love you. So this is somebody I could be with, definitely long term because
Wow.
of the alignment of everything, and of course, through prayer and seeking wisdom from the Holy Spirit, then it just makes that even more evident that
Yeah.
that is the case. So yeah, can be happier with where we are
Wow.
and where we're headed.
Congrats, you two. Like, I love this.
Thanks.
I remember when I first started seeing Kenya on your page, I would like stalk her Instagram and I'd be like,
I
and I'll
was
be like,
wondering,
I'm like, should I add her should I follow her on Instagram? Like, I don't want her to be like, who's this girl that, you and Josh follow each other and now she's weirdly following me. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, you know what? I've been watching her long enough. I'm just going to follow her. Like,
I feel like if you would have done that early, I feel like if you would have done it early, she would have been like, who is this?
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I waited like a good amount of time. I waited. Like,
I probably would have been like,
really? Yeah. I probably would have been the same way. That's why I was like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let it sizzle.
Yeah, she used to be a little more cutthroat with like the people, like, well, specifically females.
I get it. I was the same way with Alan, to be honest.
I mean, I get it. It's like, okay, I'll just.
I had to calm down. I did. I had to calm down.
Yeah,
so
it's like, yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, we had a whole conversation
We
about
sure
this
did.
off screen.
I saw it. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot better.
Kenny and I talked about that.
Really? We talked about it too.
Y'all are hilarious.
We talked about it too. So I waited an appropriate amount of time before I followed, and then I was like, okay.
Yeah, and then I saw you too, and I was like, okay, she has good content.
Yeah, I was like, and I loved your content. I was like, this makes sense because Josh is like a content dude, and like that makes so much sense to me. And then y'all look so good together, so I was like, okay.
Oh, thank you.
I was like, oh, I hope I get to meet her one day, and then we ended up going to the gym.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was so glad that y'all
her
met.
DMs.
She did.
Wow.
I would like comment on stuff on her story and stuff. And we would do the same to each other, and like eventually we were like, hey,
I see
Jim?
you at Planet Fitness.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's cool. No, yeah. When y'all started hanging out, I was really excited because Kenya didn't have many girlfriends outside of Taylor, who lives a couple hours away, and so I was like, hey, like, I know some girls. You may not like. You're gonna be like, "Hi, well, who is she?"
Is
you know.
so. I swear that exactly mirrors me and Alan. Like, that is so funny.
Like you would love them. Like,
I swear that
crazy.
exactly mirrors me and Alan. He'll be like, I got girlfriends for you that you might like. Girlfriends.
They're not my girlfriends.
I'm your
They're girlfriend.
And then I ended up hanging out with one. Now we're real cool. So I'm like, dang,
I see.
he was right.
There you go.
Yeah, I get it.
There you go. Yeah. So, hey, your mom has a comment. She said, I had a feeling she was seeing someone until she told us the truth at a restaurant. Remember that, Kenya?
Explain that.
No, yeah, because she was lying.
What?
She was lying.
You're trying to keep it on the down low for a minute?
because like I didn't want to like say something
Yeah.
unless it was like for real.
I get that.
So like earlier I said Natalie and Josh were neighbors. So when I was going out to go hang out with Josh, I would tell my parents like, oh, I'm gonna go see Natalie. When really I was gonna hang out with Josh.
Yeah.
I mean, same little. I mean, same, like literally, like right, same area. So
Yeah.
That's crazy.
right across the street from each other.
Yeah. And then I forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind.
But you're trying to keep it on the DL for a minute until you knew it was real.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at that point, y'all weren't official yet. You were just still dating.
Yeah, not yet. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just hanging out.
Okay. What you know
Into
what?
each other.
Let me ask. So what would you guys call that stage? Because I just called it dating, but like I talk to Alan about that all the time, and he doesn't like the word dating because he says that dating means you're in a relationship. And I'm like, I thought dating meant like you're dating around or like you're dating a person to get to know them.
Your definition's too technical.
So-
But I believe what we were doing is what the kids refer to as
The
Talking.
talking.
See, okay,
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay. That's what I was like. So did y'all call it talking? Like, oh yeah.
No, we didn't call it
talk-
anything.
Yeah, we didn't call it
You're just
anything.
doing what
Just,
you
like,
did.
getting to know
Yeah.
each other.
I love that.
That was one of the conversations we actually had. Was like,
Really?
hey, like, let's
what
not-
is this?
No,
Like, what do we
well,
call
not
it?
really. What is this? Like, we're being intentional towards one thing,
I like that.
marriage, if we're going to pursue a relationship. And so the titles.
Courting.
Yeah, courting,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah?
So
Okay.
we were like, hey, yeah, we're going to court if we do anything to marriage. But any of the titles below that are, I mean, just titles.
That's
They're not
true.
necessarily meaningful
That's
to
so true.
us. So it's like
That's
we
why
can
I had
call
to
this
ask.
talking, and then we can call this dating, and then we can call it the courting, and it's
Yeah.
like, no, that doesn't it doesn't matter
Yeah.
unless there's like a bigger goal that you're trying to reach.
Yeah.
And
I
so
love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay.
And
So
so
okay.
we each had the same goal that we were trying to reach
yeah.
at the beginning, and so that's why the relationship lasted.
Wow.
and will continue to last.
So it mattered as long as the goals were the same and in alignment, basically.
Yeah,
like the big ones.
yeah,
Not basically how you get there, but the values, like
Yeah.
the core values were the same.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
core values have to align, and then your goals, as far as how those values are expressed in the world, have to align.
Yeah.
Because you can have the same core values as somebody, and
Yeah.
then have a completely different vision for where you want to end up in your life, or
That's
how
true.
you want to express your gifts through those core values. So it's like we both make content that's like something that draws us together, that we can both do, that's very productive and rooted in our core values.
Yeah.
But say she wanted to make content and I wanted to be a missionary and travel the world or something, well then maybe
Then
that
it's
might
like
not.
tough.
Yeah.
that
Hard.
make it a lot harder.
Very
you
true.
know, so,
Very true.
yeah.
So okay. So like what's one piece of advice you would give to people that are trying to get to where you guys are right now as far as the engagement and on the way to marriage?
I would say, assuming that you already are pursuing the Lord first and foremost, I would say make sure that you know your boundaries, I would say. And yeah, know your boundaries and know what you won't settle for, in a sense. So like for us, we're in the beginning when we were talking and stuff like that. I asked him, I was like, "Are you looking for a situationship or what are you looking for?" And if he would have said situationship, I would have been like, "Well, okay, great, good for you. We can still be friends, but that's not what I'm looking for." But because we were on the same page, we were able to continue to move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that one of the biggest things is that you have to get to the heart of the matter quickly. Like people beat around the bush and then they, see somebody and it's like, oh, pretty face, or they might check something off, and you kind of stay with them recreationally until it falls apart because one party maybe wants to take it deeper and the other party's not ready. And it's like, well, if you would have just asked the question from the beginning
Yeah.
or got to the heart of the matter, then this wouldn't have even came up. Maybe y'all could have
Wow.
both went your separate ways and maybe even came back later if, that was an option, or if y'all both were in alignment down in the future. But a lot of relationships get ruined not because people aren't compatible, but because they're in different seasons of their life. And so what we did I think that helped us a lot was we asked the tough questions. We asked the deep questions very, very early.
Yeah.
And like Kenya was saying, she got to the heart of the matter. Is like, hey, what are you looking for? Are you in a situationship, long-term relationship, marriage? Like, what's your end goal? And because our end goals were the same, and it's like, okay, yeah, we can proceed forward. And so you have to definitely define what you're looking for in a relationship at this stage of your life. And so but I think when you're younger, there's no shame in hanging out with people,
Yeah.
going on dates and doing that whole bit, as long as you're doing it responsibly and you're not like trying to be for the streets. If you're actually just hey, like I'm just kind of seeing how this works, how romantic relationships and the dynamics work so that you can gain knowledge, then that's fine, as long as you let that be known. Plus, when you're young, then you don't really know anything. Now, a lot of times
That's
you don't
true.
know that you don't know anything until you get older.
And you're like,
But
man, I knew nothing.
yeah. But a lot of times you really don't know anything, and so the best thing to do is just, hey, let's just have fun, and
Yeah.
let's see what can happen. Let's see, how to communicate. Let's see all the ins and outs of how a relationship's supposed to work. And if we grow to that stage where it's like, oh, now we're both thinking about, yeah, let's take this to the next level. Let's redefine our goals, and they both align to marriage. Then it's like, okay, yeah, that's how something that's innocent and recreational can translate into something more meaningful. But I think that's you have to start. That's like from an adolescent to an adult type of phase. If you're an adult, I think you need to have it figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You too
have
old.
it figured out. Yeah. Because a lot of adults out here are like, yeah, I'm waiting for the perfect man, but until then,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do me, or vice
Yeah.
versa.
Yeah.
I want
Plenty
a
of
perfect
times
woman,
heard
but
that.
I still want to be in the streets. And it's like, well, that's not gonna. Your focus, and your actions are on the wrong thing. So you're not going. It's going to be much harder to reach your end goal. Not saying that you can't, but even if you do reach your end goal, it may not be the best thing for you because you're focused on what the best product or the fruit of the end goal isn't going to be the ripest, isn't going to be the most fruitful in your life. And so because you were clouded. And so
Yeah.
then you made a bad decision, which I think a lot of people do. So yeah, that's it.
Wow. Thank you, guys.